What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to be predicting the 2025 Detroit Lions record. It's exactly as it sounds. We'll jump right into week one. They'll be playing against their division rival Green Bay Packers on the road. And I think this is going to be a pretty good game. I mean, the Lions are most definitely capable of winning games like this now. They have Dan Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Monroe St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jared Goff, and their defense is pretty good too. They have Aiden Hutchinson, they got Kirby Joseph, and yeah, they got some good players on that side of the ball too. Their roster is stacked, and I think they are going to start off the season with a win against their division rival Green Bay Packers. I mean, I think they're better than the Packers. I think Jared Goff is better than Jordan Love, and I think the Lions just have a better roster. So I'm going to say the Lions win this game and start off 1-0. Alright, and heading to week two, the Lions will be at home taking on the Chicago Bears. And this is another division matchup, and this one's definitely more lopsided just because the Lions have a stacked roster and the Bears are rebuilding. Obvious revenge game here because you got Ben Johnson on the Bears because he's their head coach and he was the Lions offensive coordinator last year. And this is going to be an interesting game. And you also have DeAndre Swift, who is on the Bears now, and you have David Montgomery, who's on the Lions now. They played for the other teams at some points in their career. And so, yeah, a lot of revenge here, as you would expect, considering it's a division matchup. I think the Lions should win this game. I mean, they're at home, and I don't think the Bears are going to be that good this year. So I'm going to say they win this game and go to 2-0. All right, and heading to week three, the Lions will be on the road taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This will be on Monday Night Football, and I think this is going to be one of the best games of the year. You've got two teams that are both Super Bowl contenders. You have a top three quarterback with the Ravens, and you have arguably one of the best rosters with the Lions. The Ravens roster is pretty good too. No, they're no slouches themselves, and this game could honestly go either way. I am still going to go with the Lions because I think I trust them more as a unit than I do as the Ravens, just because the Ravens have a tendency to drop games that they really shouldn't. And I think this is going to be one of those games. I think the Lions are going to win and improve to 3-0. All right, and heading to week four, the Lions will be at home taking on the Cleveland Browns. And I'm going to be real, I really don't think this game's going to be that close. The Browns are a bad team and they're rebuilding, and there's not a lot of optimism on that side of the ball, that team. And the Lions, I mean, you've got probably one of the best cultures in the NFL. I think the Browns will get crushed by the Lions, and the Lions will improve to 4-0. All right, and heading to week five, the Lions will be on the road taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is going to be one of the most high-scoring games I think we'll ever see. You've got the Lions with their elite offense. You got the Bengals with their elite offense. You've got the Bengals with their bad defense. And the Lions, to their credit, have a good defense. But I still think this game's going to be really high-scoring. And I actually think this is where the Lions are going to suffer their first loss. I think to this point, if they start 4-0, the bounces have really been going their way. I think they're bound to lose a game that they shouldn't, not because the Bengals are a bad offense, but because I think the Lions have a more talented roster overall. But I think they're going to let this one slip. I think Joe Burrow is going to beat them. Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase are going to be too much for them to beat in a shootout. So I have the Lions losing their first game and going to 4-1. All right, heading to week six, the Lions will be on the road taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. You got yourselves a Sunday Night Football game here. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I think it's going to be a classic. You've got two Super Bowl contenders. And yeah, I think this will be, I don't want to necessarily say high scoring because the Chiefs haven't really been in games like that a whole lot for the past few years. And I actually do think the Lions are going to win this game. I think the Chiefs are the definition of a team that gets way too lucky. And I think this is going to be a season where they're not going to, I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs or anything, but I think they're going to be a lesser version of what we're used to. So I think the Lions should win this game, and I think they will and improve to 5-1. All right, and heading to week 7, the Lions will be at home taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is another game I think will be pretty good. I mean, the Bucs were actually one of the few teams to beat the Lions last year. They went 15-2 in the regular season, and spoiler, I don't think that the Lions are going to go 15-2 again, just because of how insane that is to replicate. But yeah, the Bucs were one of the few teams to beat them. And I think the Lions are going to remember that and make sure that they don't let that happen again. I think they're going to beat the Bucs and improve their record to 6-1. All right, heading to week 8, that's their bye week. They're at 6-1. It might be a little higher than what people expect, but this is still a damn talented team. I don't think they're going to be bad. I think they're still going to be pretty good. And heading to week 9, you got yourselves another NFC North game. The Lions will be at home taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And I could see the game going either way just because the Vikings, in my opinion, are a very good team. I mean, they have a rookie quarterback. Well, essentially a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. So there's definitely some, wild cardness there, but I still think they're a very good roster, so I wouldn't chalk this up as an easy win or anything for the Lions. I still think they're going to win just because, I trust them more than the Vikings because they have a better quarterback. In my opinion, they have a better offense. And because of that, I'm going to say the Lions win this game and improve to 7-1. All right, and heading to week 10, we got another team that beat the Lions last year in the Washington Commanders, but this time it was in the playoffs. And the Lions are going to be on the road taking on this team, and the Lions are pissed off about this. They're going to come at the Commanders with everything they have. They are not going to lose this game. I think the Commanders, they're a good team, but the Lions are a great team. And I think just because of how they lost in the divisional round last year to the Commanders, they're going to be firing on all cylinders. The Lions, you don't want to play them when they're angry, and I think they're going to be playing this game very angrily, and I have them winning it and going to 8-1. All right, heading to week 11, the Lions will be on the road taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is going to be a really good game. You've got the Lions who went 15-2 last year, and you've got the Super Bowl champion Eagles who went 14-3 last year. And, it's honestly a shame these two teams didn't play each other last year because both of these teams were killing it. Like, they were having some of the best seasons that both these teams have ever had. And I definitely think both these teams are still going to be pretty good. I don't think they're going to have as many wins as they had last year just because of how hard it is to replicate that. But this game could go either way. And I would not be shocked if the Eagles won this game just because of how loaded their roster is. But the Lions roster is really good too. And I'm going to give the edge to the Lions here. I think this is going to be a year to remember for the Lions. And they're going to win this game, beat the arguable other best team in the NFC, and improve their record to, it's week 11, and they've played 9-1. That's their record. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. 9-1. All right, heading to week 12, the Lions are going to have probably one of the easiest games on their schedule. Not that playing in the NFL is easy, but the Giants are not a good team. The Lions are a good team. They're at home. I see no reason why the Lions would lose a game like this. I think they're going to win this game and improve their record to 10-1. All right, heading to week 13, the Lions will be at home on Thanksgiving, taking on their arch rival Green Bay Packers. And this is going to be a tough one for the Lions. Not because they're a bad team or anything. We obviously know that's not the case considering how good their record is. But they seem to play really poorly on Thanksgiving. And I think even though they're a good team now, I think that's translated. Last year was the first year they won in Thanksgiving in years. And even that game, they didn't play that good. They almost lost to the Bears. And I think they're due for a loss here. I think the Packers are going to give them a shocking loss here and drop the Lions down to 10-2. All right, heading to week 14, the Lions will be at home taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And as I'm sure a lot of you know, Micah Parsons and the Cowboys are going through their own shit right now. And as I am recording this video, there has not been a deal that has been in place. So they might not have him. I think they will, but I mean, the fact that that's all going on, I really don't think the Cowboys are going to be spectacular this year. And the Lions, as I'm sure you could tell by the record, I think will be spectacular. I think they're going to beat the Cowboys and go to 11-2. All right, heading to week 15, the Lions are going to be on the road taking on the Los Angeles Rams. You got the elephant in the room. You've got the revenge game between Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. So you know this is going to be a good game. These two teams always put on a great showing. And usually the Lions get the better of the Rams. They've done it in the playoffs. They did it last time they played in week 1 last year. But something tells me, I think the Rams are going to win this game. I think, and it's going to come down to one thing. The Rams are going to need this game way more than the Lions will. Not that the Lions don't need to win, but I think considering how good the Lions' record is, I think the Rams are going to be more motivated to win this game. And it's on the road as well, so that could be a challenge for the Lions. And they have a pretty big target on their back now. 11-2. I mean, the other teams in the NFC aren't going to like that. So I think the Rams are going to get the better of the Lions and drop them down to 11-3. All right, heading to week 16, the Lions will be at home taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is definitely a revenge game because you've got Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers, who was on the Packers for years, obviously, torturing the Lions. So you know damn well the Lions are going to want this game badly. They want to beat Aaron Rodgers because I don't think anyone besides the Packers in the NFC North likes that guy. And I think the Lions are going to make sure that they beat the shit out of Aaron Rodgers. And I think they will. And I think they are going to improve to 12-3. All right, heading to week 17, the Lions will have their second and final matchup between the Minnesota Vikings, this time on the road. And this is going to be a great game. I mean, the Lions are going to be in a lot of great games, just considering how good their offense is. And I think that on Christmas Day, this is going to be a present. This will be the NFL's present to us. I don't know about the other two games, but this game I know is going to be a good one. And I actually think the Lions are going to lose. I think the Vikings, it's kind of similar to what I said about the Rams, just because, the Rams are going to need to win more than the Lions will at this point, just considering how good the Lions' record is. And the Vikings, it's kind of the same thing. And also, not to mention, the Vikings, I feel like, have kind of been owned by the Lions for the past few years. Well, not owned, but just haven't beaten them a lot. So I think the Vikings are going to be... they're due for one. They're going to beat the Lions and drop the Lions down to 12-4. And ending off their regular season, the Lions will be on the road taking on the Chicago Bears. And this game, I honestly think the Lions are going to rest their starters. I think they're going to have the 1 seed locked up by now. And to tell you the truth, they might have already had it last week, but I'm not predicting that. And I think that, the Bears I obviously don't think they're going to be that good, but I do think that they're going to be good enough to beat the Lions back up. So I have the Lions closing out the season with a final record of 12-5. All right, and yeah, that's going to do it. So far, this is the division. Tomorrow, I'll do either tomorrow or later today, we'll do a Green Bay Packers video. And here's what it comes down to with the Lions. Sure, they lost Ben Johnson, and I do think their offense is going to slow down a little bit, just considering how good it was last year, and obviously their record's worse from last year, considering they went 15-2 last year. But, it's not like Ben Johnson's running the ball. He's not running the ball for Jahmyr Gibbs. He's not catching the ball for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. He's not blocking for him. He's not blocking for Penei Sewell. He's not throwing the damn ball for Jared Goff. I think he's going to be a good head coach. I don't think he sucks, but it's I don't think losing one guy who's not even a player is going to impact this team as much as some people think. People are saying that the Lions are going to miss the playoffs, I think those people are honestly insane. Like, do people not realize how loaded the Lions are? Like, they have one of the best offenses in the NFL, and their defense is not as bad as people think. People think it's bad, but they were just so injured last year. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get why people are sleeping on the Lions. And I think they're going to be a really good team, and I think they're going to be a very dangerous team when it comes to playoff time. And anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I know it's kind of a longer one, but I mean, the Lions are a fun team. I like talking about them. And if you're still watching, I appreciate ya. And I'll see you in my next video, which will either be today or tomorrow. Sayonara.